Hello everyone and welcome again to this month's KWCC. I am your host Kaiju X, and with me today I have Fat Bacon Unicorn, who I believe this is your first KWCC.
He was on one.
I was on the last one.
Oh.
Fuck you!
Gosh darn it. We have
but no one remembers it doesn't count.
We have Gray Shot. We have John Wayne, aka
Piss
Alex.
off.
We have John Wayne, aka Alex, aka John Wayne. We have the thing over your shoulder that's also called Birdman, and we have Joe. Alright, so during the time between the last KWCC and this one, we covered like match, I think, what was it? 270, 271, and the 6th animated that featured Legendary Godzilla.
That sounds about right.
So,
Yeah,
today,
Bagora and 273 came out in this time frame.
correct. So, right now we have, right in front of us, we have KWC Match 272, Bagora versus Gauss. We'll go over this one first, and I'd say, let's start from the top. Bacon. Which you'll be.
It was cool.
Yeah, Bacon, Unicorn, same thing. What'd you think of it?
I thought it was cool. I'm glad that we got Bagora in a match. I liked how everyone was freaking dead at the end, at the beginning of it. Well, the Gauss murdered everyone, and
Everyone died. The end.
So yeah, I thought it was a pretty good entry, and it's especially a good opening for Bagora. Not really much to say.
I'm sure Alex will be quoting you that in a little bit. Anyway,
I wasn't paying attention.
Well,
Great shot.
I was gonna say, I actually do have to agree with the gentleman above. Bacon, yeah, this was a different type of match with the world. Basically, the world ends in the first paragraph, which is usually not how it, which usually is not how the match usually starts. But it was a cool intro for Bagora in regards to being like this apex predator that hears the screams of the Gauss through space. Not sure how that works, but okay. But
the same way that we could hear sounds in Star Wars in space.
Yeah,
excellent.
Yeah, to be completely, to be frank here for a moment, the same thing applies to the comic.
It implies you were lying.
Gosh darn it, Alex! I'm gonna. Anyway, but yeah, the same thing happens in the comic where
I know
where Bagora is lured to Earth because of Godzilla's screams. And it's like, oh, God, he could hear Godzilla's screams from space. How does that work? I wouldn't think about it too hard. So
one of my favorite, and slight off topic, but if you guys ever seen the show Death Battle, there was a moment of like Jimmy pressed his watch that limited a sound that Superman could hear, and Superman was like 50,000 light years away, which means that Superman heard this tiny little screech on this guy's watch 50,000 light years away, and flew back there in 10 minutes. It's just like, yes, comics are weird.
Yes.
Thank you for the science lecture, Gracia.
You're welcome.
What would we do without you?
You're welcome. But no, to the actual fight, I actually did enjoy it because it was short and brutal and to the point. Like this very much felt like an interaction between a predator and prey, and like another predator, kind of like there was a brief battle. The one had the superiority. Then there were more that came in, and it honestly was on the teetering point of who would win. So I thought Josh did a good job with this. The banner, I would say, is probably a little bit weaker just because it doesn't meld well with the red on red, like the red Gauss with the red Bagora. Like the blue background works, but I think they just needed more detail and have the Bagora actually larger.
Then why'd you post it?
Because it's not. It's still. Because it's still better than mine, and to the point, it's still good. I just don't think it's great. Like it's not fair. Like for instance, the next KWC that we have, I think very much uses each monster's coloration and uses it to make them all distinct, whereas the previous version does not.
Right.
I think that's the difference between
you could have had Nagoto or Ditto do it.
Right. This was one I got straight from Josh. He made the banner was originally made in a different ratio too. So I should have asked. It's like, hey, could you reposition this? Could you like that could be blamed on me. Any of the banner problems could be blamed on me because I didn't go back and ask them, hey, could you change this up, change that up to meet the new status quo, if you will? Because this was made in a 1,000 by 450 ratio before we upped it up to
1024 by 512.
Yeah, so yeah, any of the awkwardness can you can blame me for. You don't have to blame Grayshot for that. You can blame me. So.
No, I still
Nah,
approve
it's
it. No, I would still.
easier to blame Grayshot.
And besides, I still approved it. And I still think this is a good. It's just, I mean,
see,
yeah, the
it's Grayshot's
KWC.
fault.
I mean, it's almost like under, Andrew and I's or like Kaiju X and I's leadership, the KWC banners have gotten better than they used to be. So now everyone has a standard of quality. Oh
my!
Most of the time.
Yeah, I think
you're welcome.
All right, like I like it's not my favorite of the bunch. I will have to say, like, the coloration can make it confusing. Both Gauss and Bagor being bat-like creatures can make it confusing. I think if the Gauss had more emphasis on brown, it probably would have been all right. And having Bagor be more center frame, or at least more in the shot, more full body, I think it would have been all right.
It's kind of exactly like the Descador versus Gorosaurus and Titanosaurus. There's something clearly wrong with it.
Mm-hmm.
Except I think this one's better than that one, so...
It took me a while to find Bagora before I realized he wasn't a Gauss.
Right. Yeah, I can see where that confusion sets in. But let's see.
And
go ahead.
Like you guys were saying, the colors don't contrast as well.
Right. Except with the background. They contrast well with the background, but...
Just not with each other.
Yeah, not with each other, yeah. But anyway, Grayshot, as you were saying about the match,
I overall, I'd say this is a good entry. This is not my favorite of his. I don't think there's enough uniqueness here for it. But
isn't that all of his matches?
No, I'd actually argue like Gabra versus, like Gorosaurus versus Monster X 185. Even a little bit of Gabra versus Hedorah. There's a little bit of uniqueness when it comes to his matches and his setups and his brutality.
Wait.
And here, I don't think it's the brutality or the. I don't think the match extent, like the setting works is definitely unique. Like the world ends and this creature comes, but for me it's like okay, but the match itself, like the action, usually is where his strength is, like in 185 or the others. But here it's no, I don't think it's used to that extent. I do like the finisher though. I do like how Bagor finishes off Gauss.
Mm-hmm. Oh, totally. I think it's probably one of my highlights of that too, as well. But anyway, Alex, did you have anything to contribute to say about 272? Or
I didn't read it because I don't deal with cringe. And this was epic cringe. Epic cringe.
Epic.
Epic.
Oh man,
cringe so epic that it gave me an aneurysm.
Oh, boy, you would have had twice the aneurysm if I hadn't made some adjustments. Let me put it that way.
To the banner, to the match, or
to
both?
the match itself. To the match itself. Oof.
Oh, okay.
Hot damn. There was yeah.
Kaiju X could have made a different edit though. Could have put it in the trash.
Could just change the name of the author, pretend he was a different human being. Then you would have read it.
No, credit him as Alan Smithy.
Oh shit!
That's funny. Anyway,
Just like Gunhead.
The same guy that made Godzilla vs. Charles Barkley.
Alan Smithy. Anyway,
And Gunhead.
in Gunhead, yes. Anyway, match-wise, I think it's fine. This is not like crazy. Like, if you're just looking for some nice bit of savagery, this is perfectly fine. It's not like it doesn't try any harder than it needs to be, and it puts up a good fight between Bagor and the various Gauss. I do enjoy. It was just a nice fight. If you wanted to see Bagor slaughtering some Gauss and Gauss getting some good hits in, yeah, this is a fine match. It meets that quota perfectly fine. And like I said, I don't think it's too often that we get a match where it's like, oh, humans are dead. Like, that's it. We're done. So it's one apex predator versus another, which I mean doesn't hurt because it's like just because the Earth is doomed doesn't mean that there's still stuff out in space, and I kind of like that. But yeah, like this one's fine. This was actually a match I asked MM to write because I had gotten the approval from Greyshot of using Bagora, and I had intended to have this match come out when I at least had my own Bagora match under the belt, so that way he could have a couple matches to him or what have you, but that just simply never came around, and by the time it was like, 3 new monsters for this thing, Bagora, put him there and then get the match out, so I was like, okay. Let's see. And then on the editing front, I think, like, to the match itself, I think one of the biggest, two of the biggest edits I had to, one of the edits I did was distinguishing the old female Gauss. They were all using the it gender pronouns. Like, all the monsters had the it gender pronouns, and I was like, that's fine for Bagora. I didn't mind it for the swarm of Gauss that came in the second act. But when when the Gauss and when the old Gauss and Bagora were fighting 1-on-1, I was like, let's change that one to female, so that way it's just be easier to distinguish her from Bagora. Because there were some sentences that got confusing as hell. When I am not, I know, right? Yeah, there were some sentences that got confusing as hell when both creatures were addressed as it. So I had to change that. Another one that was like, oh man. Oh yeah, another one came super early in where the language was surprisingly explicit. Oh man, I was like, holy yeah. I was like, wow, really? It was only in like that first paragraph of like the world ending. It was like explicit. I was like, what the hell? It was like, so I just reworded some of the stuff there. Oof, that was uncomfortable. But yeah, other than that though, the actual fight that went on I think is fine. I like the way Bagora finishes off the last Gauss. And yeah, I really like the match. It's not like top favorite, but it's a solid foot. Like, it's not exceptionally great compared to like the one we're gonna go into next, but it's fine. So anyway,
news article: Gamera forced to give up his Guardian of the Universe title after misgendering a Gauss.
So Birdman, what'd you think of 272?
When I saw the teaser like a couple of years ago, I was expecting something better. I was not really thrilled with this match at all. It's like, it does suffer a bit from, I think, like a weak storytelling. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have that sense of professionalism he has in like some of the other matches. It seems a bit on the lesser quality side. I mean, it's fine for what it is, but I expected more.
Mm-hmm.
You expected more from MM? Wow.
I mean, to be fair,
that's some fiction right there.
To be fair, 185. I just counter-argued you.
Yeah.
That's like the tiny golden pebble in a giant shit pile.
But yeah.
I would disagree with that highly.
But yeah. Alright.
I don't know. He posts some cringe.
Anyway. But yeah. Did you have anything else to add, Birdman, or?
No, that was it.
Okay. And Joe, what did you think of 272?
Do I even have to say it?
Gosh darn it, Joe.
He didn't read it.
Fine. I'll ask someone else who read the match. I'll ask someone else who read the match by the name of Phoenix Yanichko, who said, fun matchup. Bagora is a welcomed addition to the KWC lineup. I wholly agree with that, Phoenix.
Yeah, but Kaiju, Facebook, people who comment through Facebook are dumb. Judging from Birdman's match where everyone got pissy over legendary Godzilla winning.
Sounds like someone's just
losing
jelly.
to a C tier monster.
I know, the salt is...
even though That's fan fiction.
Yeah, I know. It's great.
My favorite comment was the one that just said bullshit.
I bet you all would be losing your minds if Shin Godzilla lost.
Well, let's see. You know what? That serves as the perfect transition over to our next match. We will be going over match 273, which came out yesterday, October 11th. Shin Godzilla, Reiwa, and Mothra Leo versus Grand King Ghidorah. Written by
Kaiju X, that's extremely nearsighted.
Can I come out and just say something real quick?
Yeah.
The naming of this Godzilla is totally up to change. We don't know what Toho's going to do. So
Toho called it, this is Shin Godzilla exists in the Reiwa era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we don't know if this Godzilla is going to continue. We don't know what the next Godzilla is going to be, if it's going to be iconic or not. All that we know is this Godzilla is called Godzilla Reiwa. It's in the Reiwa era. Therefore, we are going to call it this. If it changes, we will change it.
Okay, fair enough.
But
someone's-
we can change it. Like, that's not something out of the realm of possibility. And we can even make a correction, like a note, note this Godzilla was this, now it is this. Like,
Fair enough.
it's nothing because of the blog format. I can go back and do that.
Yeah.
Wait, were people complaining about that?
So it's just, I noticed it, and I just want to address it completely. It's that it is open to change, and right now we are naming it because that is the base name. We could name it Shin Godzilla, but that's just off the movie.
Yeah. Right.
Like someone said in the discussion board.
That's extremely nearsighted.
Well, to be fair, Fred, if
Nearsighted by what, 3 years?
yeah, right. No, even if there are more Reiwa Godzillas in the future, which I'm more than sure there will be, if the Millennium series is anything to go by, and assuming what Toho does with the World of Godzilla thing they have up and coming, I'm assuming we're going to get more Reiwa Godzillas, of an individual variety. My thought on that is, we have enough Godzillas as it is. I do not think we'll be getting any more Godzillas, even if it's in the near or far future. So I do not think there is a problem with calling Shin Godzilla Godzilla Reiwa, or making him the definitive face of the Reiwa Godzillas.
Still nearsighted.
Nevertheless,
that comment is as dumb as Godzilla 1990s versus Godzilla 2000s.
Oh gosh. Anyway, so we'll hop right into this match. We'll go from the top and say, Bacon, what'd you think of 273?
S tier match. It's got character growth for Shin that I genuinely wish was. I really liked his transition from just being this emotionalist character to, oh, people have compassion? What is this? And the fight itself was quite enjoyable. I liked how Shin evolved during the fight. Let's see. The banner was great. It's one of my favorite matches, if I'm going to be.
Implies you were lying.
Son of a bitch. I should have known you were going to say that.
Well, you guys need to stop saying that.
Let's see. The one part that I did think, it makes sense to how it evolved, but I did think it was weird that Shin's arms, extended really long. There's a part where it says that weird than X.
Yeah. They grew after they were blasted off by Grand King Ghidorah's beams, yeah.
Yeah. In my head, I just pictured his normal hands, but stretched. So it sounded.
I could see that.
No, I think it's just a genuinely really good written match. And one of my favorite Wheel matches, and a great start for Godzilla Reiwa to see what happens next.
All right, cool. Grayshot, what'd you think of 273?
Well, Honestly, I did enjoy
Implies
this
you're
match.
lying.
I honestly enjoyed this match.
Implies you're lying.
Gosh, you can't use honestly in the vicinity of Alex, man.
I might have liked this match. You're supposed to say it implies you didn't.
I'm fine with that.
No, I
That's
thought
different than honestly.
I thought when I first got this match, I did roll my. When I first got this match, like weeks and weeks and weeks, months ago, I did roll my eyes because at the very beginning, when Mothra Leo like is trying to turn Shin good or Godzilla good, I was like, oh god, this is okay. It's just gonna be this kind of match, and I started reading it, and for the most part, the motivations were there. They were very good. It was well executed. That is up until. And I read it, and I was like, I nodded. And then upon, like, before this was going to go out, I did it one more time, and I think there's one part of this match, which I'll just go after all you guys give your opinions, that was a little bit overly sentimental, that I think this match tries to pull on your heartstrings, and I think it crosses that line one or too many times. I think it's a little too sentimental. But I think it pushed the line a little too far. But otherwise, I still think it's a really good match. The action's well done. The build up for Grand King Ghidorah is well done. The destruction is well done. The ending in regards to like the power absorption ability by Godzilla was really cool, as well as his transformations, like his legs and his arms. Both of those, I were like, okay. This is how you write a Godzilla adaptation. It's like his body is literally like if something happens, it adapts to the situation. Godzilla couldn't reach Ghidorah, so he grows longer arms. Godzilla couldn't. Ghidorah was too fast, so his legs got thinner. It's like these are the adaptation abilities I can totally buy. There was one adaptation ability I cut, which I'll go into later, that I did not buy, and I was like, that's pushing it too far. So I did remove that section. So there is going to be a limit just for those that are writing this match. Don't think, oh, he can adapt anything. I do think there is a limit to adaptation. I do think there is Godzilla can adapt to a point. To the point where he becomes another character is the point where you cross a line. But in any case, overall, really awesome match. Awesome banner by Andrew. Love the color palette, love the detail, love the background. The shot of the meteor is fantastic in the center. So, yeah, like 9 out of 10 on the banner, and I'd say like a 7 or an 8 out of 10 when it comes to the actual match.
Bruh, you said some cringe.
Now, what are you gonna say?
Pure Kino. This is this generation's match 88. And as I recall, this match had the fastest approval process of any of them, all in one day, through me, Kaiju X, and you.
Yeah, actually, the longest part of it was waiting because you had made the suggestion of October 11th on purpose. Because,
absolutely.
Because that was going to commemorate Shin Godzilla's 3rd year anniversary of coming to the United States.
Yep.
Yeah.
So.
No, yeah, because this match was so great, I thought we should, and we hadn't had a Shin match yet, so I thought, 1, we should make it be the debut match,
mm-hmm.
and 2, we should do something special for it, and why not the 11th of October?
Yeah. So something we were definitely down for, definitely. So.
And onto the actual match. Fucking good. This is quality, people. Quality. And unlike Ray Shot, I actually thought all Godzilla and Mothra's bonding was perfect. It was beautiful. It made me care for Godzilla as a character, and not this emotionless hag he was in the movie. While yes, I do think Grand King Ghidorah, and this is just more of a personal preference, more of than a criticism, I do think Grand King Ghidorah could have been built up more like as a villain, but he's not really the point of the match. It's more about Godzilla and how he's trying to find that quote-unquote humanity through Mothra Leo. So yes, I do think their bonding was beautiful. And again, awesome match. Kino. This is this generation's match 88.
Nice.
Go ahead.
And this will be the match I'll be voting for in the KWC awards.
Nice.
In all categories.
Definitely. I could definitely understand like why that is and all that fun stuff. So
Now Kaiju X.
all right.
You better not be saying any cringe.
No, I think it's gonna be hard for me to say any cringe because on my gray shot, I didn't touch a thing with this match this time. I thought everything it did was incredibly well executed. I think it stood we'll go into that later after we're done, after everyone gives their opinion. But for the match itself, like this match, I think does everything fine. It meets it constrains itself with Shin Godzilla's adaptations, but it allows something different and unique, like the extending arms after his arms were lost, or thinning his legs so he could run faster. Which is certainly unorthodox, but also something that would probably fit this iteration of the character. But definitely, the strong point here is definitely the driving force of Shin Godzilla and Mothra Leo's bonding, where Mothra Leo introduces the idea of compassion to this lonely, angry creature who's just trying to find his sense of self. Grand King Ghidorah, I think, once again, nothing wrong with Grand King Ghidorah, because for a solid antagonist. And yeah, I have nothing but praise for this match. I think it's a really nice and unexpected introduction for Shin Godzilla in the KWC, because everyone would have thought, he, the villain, he is the evil dude. It was like, no, Shin Godzilla himself was never inherently evil. He's lost. That's the best way you could describe this Godzilla, as well as most of the other Godzillas in general. But yeah, he is a lost soul that's just trying to find some peace, and Mothra Leo allows him access to that peace. And that is ultimately done in a very nice, self-contained match. So I have no qualms.
Hold on. Also, to further add Kaiju X's enthusiasm for the match, after I read it, I immediately messaged Kaiju X on Discord telling him he had to read it. And then, I think it was half an hour later, you read it, and you said, I gotta do the banner for this.
Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely, because I had a pretty strong... Yeah, I had a really strong mental image for this one. Once I read it, I was like, I knew what to do. I knew a strong idea of what I could do and where I could take the match. So,
and again, kids, this is how great this match was, because the banner was made on the same day.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
All right, so I'm back in because apparently family members need to go to the bank first, so I'll be in for a bit longer.
Alright. Well, good news is you can still give your comments on 273, because I just wanted to give one more tidbit concerning the banner specifically. Loved making the banner. It was a lot of fun to make. Granted, I did want to have the meteor cracked open, but I didn't know how to Photoshop that right, so I just kind of left it be. So it's hey, how's that meteor casing still closed, but King Ghidorah's right over there? It's just don't worry, don't think about it too much. But yeah, I do love this particular banner. I did have I originally wanted Grand King Ghidorah to be more in the center, and then Shin Godzilla and Mothra Leo, you would have seen their backs. They were both facing Grand King Ghidorah and kind of pointing to him in the middle. But my problem with that is, or at least with how I mentally thought of the image was, well, one, I couldn't find a good image of Mothra Leo from the back, and two, this is Shin Godzilla's first match. Just show his full body. So,
What's up, idiots?
hey. So, hang on a sec, man.
Now this great shot said cringe.
What just happened? All you cut out.
Oh, jeez. I was giving my thoughts and opinions on 273. So,
Which, by the way, for those for those that don't know, this gentleman is the basically the mastermind behind it.
That was a cringe, Max. Cringe.
Anyway, well, no, I was just responsible for the banner. Anyway, we'll head down the list and then loop back up to Biggie Cheese up there. I'm calling you Biggie Cheese, and you're gonna like it.
Oh wait, I thought you said that was Matt.
No.
No.
I was
no.
like, oh, he's the writer's joining us. Okay.
No, that's Godzilla vs. Rayquaza.
Oh, I didn't even
That'd
know.
be pretty epic, though.
Okay.
Yeah, I said Nathis.
I thought you said Matt. And I was like, oh.
No. Yeah.
Okay.
Nathis.
Gotcha.
Nathis-
Apologies.
Yeah. Nathis 214. We call him Biggie Cheese around here.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, but I'll. Yeah.
Biggie Cheese fucking dies.
Anyway.
I rep Able 1.
Okay. Well, first off, before we get to Biggie Cheese up there, we'll go down to Nagoda. What'd you think of 273?
Well, banner was really cool looking. And then for the match itself, really like the personality given to the monsters. Like King Ghidorah, instead of just being, his loneliness, he's just there to destroy things. It's actually, I actually like destroying things. That's the whole reason I'm killing entire civilizations and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then Leo, going back to like the Showa area where, Mothra and Godzilla and Rodan once teamed up to fight King Ghidorah. Why not get this new Godzilla to fight? And then converting Shin Godzilla into his cause. Also really like the different evolutions Shin went through, like the leaner legs, the longer arms, and then eventually, can we spoil stuff in this?
Not yet. We're still looping around everyone.
Eventually, that other thing he did in there.
Well,
There, is that good
the
enough?
other thing he did, I think you're thinking of, has been removed. So
Ah, dang it.
anyway,
That's
Wait,
a
do you mean
one-off.
absorbs Ghidorah's energy?
if you mean absorbing Ghidorah's energy, then yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Because if I may ask, didn't he do that in like the Eva?
Yeah,
Cross
he did.
Godzilla
Actually,
thing?
yes, he did.
Yeah, he did.
Yes, he did.
Okay, I thought there was a basis of that somewhere.
But yeah, what are the limits we can go with his evolutions?
We'll go into that a little later. So,
Alright.
but yeah.
Alright, so I've said my piece.
Okay, you said your piece. All right, Birdman, what'd you think of 273?
Hang on.
Oh boy.
Hang on, let me look at my thoughts. Brilliant is what I can say. It perfectly sums up how Rainbow Godzilla should be treated in KWC. You don't... how does KWC should be handled in general. You don't need to follow the stereotype fitted onto. You can do whatever you want, with some great limitations, of course. But you don't need to do... You don't need to be constrained. What we've done here with Godzilla and Mothra Leo is beyond perfect. I did kind of skim through, so I haven't read it fully, but what I have read is certainly a very heartwarming match. It plays in the heartstrings. I mean, again, how it was kind of set the bar on how we should handle Railroad Godzilla's adaptation ability. It should be like a bit out there, but not too out there. Like you should be not trying to do what I did with my Shin match. Essentially, what we're saying.
Right, yeah. Now that we have a good precedence of what we're allowed to do versus what we're not allowed to do, yeah, I think it's like, okay, it's not as crazy as you want it to be, but it's still something, so.
Yeah, that's all I have to say.
Alright. yeah, that was all you had to say. Anything on the banner? Or...
Could be better.
Ah, I see.
Ooh, shots fired.
Anyway.
Not gonna lie, that was kind of cringe, bro.
Alright.
Your very existence is cringe. I think you'll find.
Anyway.
Go back to the
That's
center
mad
where you
edgy.
belong.
People wanting an evil Godzilla.
Anyway.
That's extremely nearsighted.
Alright. And Joe, if you're there, what'd you think of the match? Joe?
Joe.
He loves it so much he's speechless.
Okay, you know what? I like the headcanon. Okay, we'll loop around to Biggie Cheese for right now until Joe comes back. Biggie Cheese, what'd you think of 273? Oh, he's gonna have to type it. He can't speak right now. Gosh darn it. Alright.
But
he's
tell us,
also
but
speechless.
type your thoughts.
Yes, and I will translate for you. I am the English translator around here.
Put them down in Morse code.
Anyway, so he is typing.
Well, here, while they are, while we have this little bit of a time, do you want me to go over the thing I removed?
Oh,
I mean the wings.
Yeah, the wings.
Oh, yeah, you can go to that now. Biggie Cheese, keep typing if you had any more elaborate thoughts. So just keep typing.
Okay, so I was all for this. I want to say this. I did enjoy this match, but I thought it crossed the line at the very end in regards to how over the top it went with the quote-unquote friendship between the two. And it kind of reminded me of a little bit of actually 211. In regards to the fact that it kind of felt like at the end of 211, for those that don't know, for me and Andrew were working on this, we were working on the aspect of Godzilla and the Muto, and they had a brief interaction. The Muto wasn't unconscious during the entire ending. There was a brief interaction, but I felt it crossed a little bit of a too far of a line, so we removed it and just simplified it to be they both weren't conscious. Godzilla awakened, and they went into the sea with the Muto on his back. In this case, this one had Mothra this had Godzilla sprouting Mothra-like wings, and Mothra Leo being unable to fly. So Godzilla, in essence, carries Mothra on while he takes off into the horizon and disappears into the sunset with Mothra Leo in his arms.
Wait,
But it's beautiful.
Yeah,
And that's what we need in the KWC, more beauty.
But let me. I'm gonna do something. I'm actually gonna read the section that I took out. If you don't mind, Kaiju X.
go ahead, because I do not remember Mothra Leo being carried. I just remember Shin Godzilla flying.
Okay. Here we go. Not even sleep was enough to keep him from falling. The full scope of his injuries catching up to him. Before he could hit the ground, Godzilla caught him. With a surprising gentleness, the mutant lifted his friend to his chest.
Oh.
Closing its eyes, Godzilla hunched over. Mothra Leo watched in shock as two protrusions erupted from Godzilla's back. It was a grotesque process as they shifted and snapped into place, growing to massive widths as they shrouded the two in shadow. But what the Guardians noticed was that Godzilla showed no pain during this. On its unnatural features were a look of bliss, for this was not an involuntary transformation. The protrusions were soon revealed to be colossal wings. Wings that, though pitch black, were the shape of Mothra Leo's own. The imitation, or perhaps tribute, of the Guardian's wings began to flap. It took a few beats before it began to look natural, but soon Godzilla's feet left the ground. With a new lease on life, the mutant flew over the ocean. Mothra Leo told his friend where to go. And actually, most of that is continued from what I added, because I just shifted for in the modified match, the one that we posted. I just made note of Godzilla dove into the water and Mothra started to fly over the ocean. The two went to Infinite Island, and this one it's carried.
Mm-hmm.
Bruh.
But
That paragraph is beautiful.
it is okay. It's very well done, but I think I didn't like it for two reasons. One, it was a little too intimate of a match between Leo and Shin for my liking. And two, I don't want to set up the idea that Shin can copy, because the idea is Shin just grows Mothra's wings and then is able to fly. And I understand in the original note they make note, oh, he might be able to adapt and fly, but we never see that. That's just conjecture. That's like in a manga when someone says, "Oh yeah, he has enough power to blow up a planet," but you never see the planet get blown up.
Okay, fair enough.
It's like it's talked about, but it's never really showcased in the movie. And in this case, I wanted to keep note of Godzilla can adapt himself to things that you would naturally be able to think. Like in regards to, he needs to run faster, his legs adapt to running faster. Nagoda, can you mute yourself? You're coming echoing a little bit.
Yeah, you're like scratching your mic or something.
Okay. Let me just...
Okay. In regards to like running faster, or Ghidorah's outranging him when it comes to his arms. So after he loses his arms, they grow back longer. Like those are adaptations I'm totally fine with. Or in regards to like Ghidorah, like we have the basis of the Evangelion movie, like that short thing, ride. Godzilla absorbs energy and is able to use it to his own advantage. Mm-hmm. Totally fine with that. What I don't want to happen is Shin to be like, and then Shin was outnumbered, so he grew 2 more Ghidorah heads, or then he grew a Destroya horn, or like then he did these things. Because that is not what I want to do with the character, because then it can give him different abilities, because then you can say, well, if he grew Ghidorah's heads, that means he can shoot gravity beams, or maybe he grows the horn katana, he can make like a Shin. It's like, no. The evolution should adapt what he has and make it better, not give him something new. And that is my line for Shin, for those that are curious. Is he should be able to enhance what he has and correct what he has and make himself better at facing what he has physically. But I don't want him to get new powers based on that, because then you could do anything. Like, he was fighting Orga. He needed a way to finish him in one shot, so he fired a mana beam out of his chest after watching Gamera, or like I don't want that to like go, or like he builds or he develops Gamera's shell. Like I thought that even though it was well done in execution for the 2 characters, it steps a line in regards to how far we can push the adaptation ability for Shin Godzilla that I don't want to go down. I don't want to open up that Pandora's box.
Okay, understandable.
But if Tom wrote it, it would be okay. Right?
If Tom wrote it, I would then have to write in the FAQ why no one else can. That's why. Like again, he's the exception.
No longer the head.
He is the exception. I give this to Christian and Tom, and I will stress this to all. They made the KWC. They get special privileges. So for any of those,
dumb.
And this is why you are not the head of the KWC. You're welcome.
No, if I become the head of the KWC, I would remove that privilege.
Okay, let me explain to you the procedure that first there's Kaiju X. Then there's probably 5 other people in regards to like that are influenced or know of the KWC. Then I'd give it back to Christian. Then I'd give it back to Tom. Then I'd give it to Anthony. Then I'd give it to Dirt. Then I might give it to a rock. And then after everything on this planet has been turned to ash, I might consider giving it to Mars, and then you.
Bruh, that's some cringe.
That's a lot of lines to cross.
That's a lot of things you have to destroy before you can assume control of the KWC.
Okay, I'm getting tired of existence, so I might do that.
Well, alright, with the help of Nagar, I think you'll be able to pull it off. Anyway.
So, in regards to his energy absorption, would you be able to do that with other kaijus like Blast? Not like certainly gain new abilities, but just power up his own atomic blast.
I would say that, like, for instance, if he was fighting Gamera, the first few shots would probably hurt the final shots. For instance, like, his body adapts to be more resilient to those attacks.
Yeah.
In regards to, like, I don't know, if he was fighting another monster that, like, Space Godzilla, maybe his body could absorb that power just like Space Godzilla. Because, again, we saw from the Evangelion, at the first few shots of Ghidorah, he couldn't absorb. But after some exposure, he was able to absorb it and redirect it back after his body adapted to the energy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he was able to use it. Though, if, for instance, if you were to fight a monster, I don't know, that could absorb... Like, let's say he fought Mechagodzilla Heisei, and he was getting dished out by all his attacks, and then he absorbed that energy and used it, and he adapted that power into his own. Well, then you're just firing it back at Mechagodzilla, who's immune to it anyway. So it's not like... You have to keep in mind, like, what even if it was enhanced, what is that doing to the opponent? Like, what is that? And here, in this match, by absorbing Ghidorah's energy, he was able to bypass the shield. But what you have to keep in mind, like, what are you going to be doing? Which actually, to be honest, I'm a little bit iffy on, because I think any light attack would be to it, but I disregard. For instance, like Mechagodzilla Hesai, he would just absorb the energy back. Like, you just have to keep in mind, like, okay, what is this energy going to do? What can it do against his opponent? Because I don't think Space Godzilla would really care if, this was doing it. He'd just like, okay, well, gotta impale you with crystals. Or just gotta, like, stab you with my tail or something. Like, I don't think he would mind if his energy was given back to him. Or, like, or, like, Destroya. If he absorbs the micro-oxygen, I don't think Destroya would even flinch at being, shot micro-oxygen back at him.
Yeah.
So, great shot.
Yeah.
So if in a tooth and claw match, say he takes enough damage to start adapting, would we be able to make him adapt harder skin to resist the slashes and stuff?
Yeah.
Technically, yeah. Even though his skin is like already hard enough, but yeah, something like that. It's like harder skin for when he gets physically attacked. Can better channel energy of certain monsters of whoever he can benefit off of.
Yep.
So like that's all fine and dandy.
Yeah, it's just I don't want like he was fighting 3 monsters at once, so he physically adapted himself to split himself down and create 3 Shin Godzillas to then fight the 3 monsters.
Yeah, right.
It's like there is a limit to what you can quote unquote do with adaptation.
Yeah.
There is. I'm using that extreme example just to showcase there is a ridiculous thing. Like that's not what an adaptation, or at least that's not as far as I want to take this adaptation tool to references, and that's why I changed this ending. That was like the 80% chance, the 80% reason. The other 20% was that it was getting a little too intimate with these 2 monsters.
I don't see anything wrong with being into another monster when they're just being friends.
Right. Oh yeah, the intimacy.
The wings things to some extent maybe, but them being intimate, especially when Godzilla's learning compassion and humanity, and finally being accepted by another monster. It's not like they were fucking or anything. They were just essentially giving each other a hug. I don't see what the problem is. That's just kind of
Nagoda. You're like scratching on your thing or breathing.
I think I just realized that my headphones aren't. That microphone on my headphones isn't working. It's probably going through my phone now.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to scroll through the Discord chat.
All right.
It's funny that you brought up the whole Destroya with Shin, because that's actually what I was going to ask for. See if he could adapt with the micro-oxygen beam.
I would actually... Okay, this is going to be a weird note, but I would like to point to the movie X-Men First Class. Now, you're probably asking why, but there's a character in there I actually think would work perfect. Yeah, Darwin. I think he's a perfect analysis for, Shin Godzilla. It's that there are some things you can't adapt to on a DNA level. Like, if for a human being, if you can adapt to your surrounding, that's cool. But when you ingest anthrax, you're still dead. If you, there are certain things, like, if you take out all the blood in your body, that's probably going to kill you even if you had really quick adaptation tools. Or, in his case, he absorbed a ball of energy that was going to explode. His body tried to adapt, but it couldn't. And its final adaptation killed him because his body just couldn't adapt and couldn't figure out a way to figure out the problem. I think that is a necessary weakness of the tool, is if micro-oxygen was to be used, well, this Godzilla is still a probably, you could probably go either way, but, if he still relied on oxygen and whatnot, then yeah, his body and cells probably couldn't adapt to stop that. It's not like, oh yes, let me change myself from a carbon-based life form to something else, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think there has to be that natural limit, or else the scope and power of the monster can get way too out of hand very quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. That is understandable. That is okay. Yeah, that definitely clears up a lot of the what we can or can't do for KWCs moving forward, and I will keep that in mind for matches I plan with Shin Godzilla. So,
again, using another character, I would say it's kind of like the Majin Buu effect, which is another weird thing. But by having a character that can literally survive anything, then it becomes boring.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, without that.
Wait, why the hell is Crystal get louder?
Huh?
You suddenly got louder on my end.
Oh, sorry.
I haven't done anything. You just got louder.
What I would say is, if he is able to adapt to anything and become immune to anything, then therefore he is, then that means he's weakness to nothing, and therefore, like, it becomes more endurant on the, and this is not just for the writers, this is also for the readers. Like, oh well, now he's going to adapt, and now he can't be killed. It's like, oh, it's another one of these, kind of like we're getting with Bagan at the moment, in regards to like, oh, Bagan comes in, he's immune to everything, he wins. Or like he gets beaten. They're like, I kind of want to try to avoid that apathy for the character.
Right. Yeah, Nagoda said so we can make him like a lesser Doomsday or Darwin in terms of adaptation.
Definitely.
Okay.
Rest in peace, my atomic blast mixed in with the micro-oxygen beam idea.
Right.
I mean, you can do that, but it's going to be. I would argue that like great. So like, what is that going to do?
Right.
Like, it's like someone firing pure radiation at Godzilla. It's like, yeah, the heat. I mean, everything else is what? Like,
Alright, fellas, I've got to go.
All right. Gotcha, man.
See ya, man.
See ya, dude.
Yeah.
See ya.
So.
Also, in my Shin match, I'm gonna have him grow a dick.
Gosh darn it. Anyway. But yeah, like, you know, what would be the actual consequences for Shin Godzilla developing the ability to use a micro-oxygen beam infused with this blast that benefits? Or is it just strictly like a rather shallow stylized thing?
Well, it could, because they referenced that if the oxygen destroyer was used on the land, what damage it could do. If he fires it, it might poison other combatants.
oh yeah, I could definitely see like him. I could definitely see that happening, in regards to, like it becoming more of an more problematic. Like his body starts like emitting micro-oxygen or something. But for like other commands or something. But you have to also keep in mind, Destroyer was literally emitting it all over the place, and people were like a mile out and still fine.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
True.
So. But anyway, I will also want to read Biggie Cheese's comment now that we finally at the time. Finally. So here are his thoughts. He was overall surprised with how Leo was characterized, and gave him ideas for his KWCA. But Banner was minimalist, but I enjoyed it at the same time. Simple and straight to the point. The anti-hero Shin is better than generic destroyer of world Shin. But the scrapped ending was a line that was crossed. I don't need no Mothra wings on my baby cute Godzilla. But yeah, enjoyed the match and want this tone or something like that for his KWCA match. 10 out of 10, great intro for Shin. And P.S. there has been no pure Godzilla. So yeah, I think that I think Shin Godzilla's adaptation, there definitely needs to be a restriction on that. The moment you let him go all willy-nilly and crazy is like the point where it's like, oh. But I would like to ask this question. Well, it's probably going to be rejected anyway, so maybe I shouldn't.
Do it.
All right, fine.
It.
I'll ask anyway. With Shin Godzilla serving as the head, something as like the head of the Reiwa era Godzillas, which will cover whatever appears in the world of Godzilla and the anime Godzilla. Theoretically speaking, would it be alright if Shin Godzilla could adapt the power, like not the appearance, mind you, but the powers from other Reiwa Godzillas? Would that be alright?
Nope, because Earth OP, and that therefore ruins everything.
Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah, but the downside is he'll inherit Earth's slowness, so he'll never reach them.
This is true. But no, I would honestly say no. I mean, just because we have Godzilla Reiwa, right now we're choosing it because he is the definitive Godzilla of this era, kind of like Godzilla Heisei.
How did he do?
Yeah, like technically there's another Godzilla Heisei. It's just the junior incarnation, but no one uses that one because A, we didn't see it, but B, more importantly, because the other one was kind of like that icon. Yes, it was the one that was used for that most of that time, but it's. I would argue that if this Godzilla has made the most money, it's been a massive success. This is kind of like the icon of. I mean, for God's sakes, it's the logo for Toho at the moment. In regards to like Godzilla, like whenever you see the years, so I would argue that this Godzilla being named Reiwa works for the moment. If that changes, we can obviously change it. Like Godzilla to Monsterverse, like we could have changed it to Monsterverse and from Legendary because we didn't know the title at that time, but we didn't because Legendary is cooler. In this case, we get something else, and you know, we get, I don't know, Godzilla Shin, if that's what they officially call it, then we'll change it. Or if it's not as cool, then maybe we won't. It all depends.
That's extremely nearsighted.
We got a few years before they come out with a movie. I think we're
Still nearsighted. I know because I barely follow the KWC.
I only come in to criticize the KWC when I feel like it.
Yeah. Why don't you guys post regular fan fiction? This is too arbitrary.
The only
I
good
know
ones are the
everything.
ones that Tom wrote.
I only come into the KWC to request new monsters.
Oh wait, I don't do that. I just bitch at my.
Oh no, that's other people. Anyway, all right. Oh man.
But before we move on, a word from our sponsors, River Pond and Toho. Since I started reviewing Kaiju cuisine, I've consumed a wide variety of ramen-themed monster snacks and reviewed them here, from Baby Star to Godzilla vs. Evangelion. But today I wanted to review a new release simply called Godzilla Ramen, created by Hachu Retsul Surukabebe, with assistance from River Pond. Flavor-wise, it's probably the best, but the gimmick is clever as ever. As usual, let's start with the pack.
Gosh darn it.
You see the now very familiar image of Godzilla from Godzilla Resurgence, looking scary and depicted in all black and red, with the name of the product and a bowl of ramen floating above his claw. The back includes instructions for how to cook the ramen, and the side announces that the box contains one of 3 rubber Godzilla foot chopstick rests, randomly inserted to prompt collectors to buy more, I am sure. The feet styles they choose seem to be the 2016, 1954, and the ever-popular Heisei. I got 2016 one, even though I wanted Heisei because I was born in the 90s. Inside we have 2 packages of pink noodles and 2 packages of soy sauce flavored soup. This is the really clever part. When you cook up the noodles and douse them in the black soup, the resulting ramen concoction looks like creepy pink flesh veins immersed in a jet black background that fits the raw, fleshy, charcoal-scorched 2016 design really well. I love the effect. Food entertains me. I love the taste. Granted, I didn't get around to eating my first batch of Godzilla ramen until after the best eaten by date had expired, and I probably should have cooked them a tad longer for maximum yum. But still, the noodles had a delicious tang that lingered in my mouth. I just kind of had an pleasant experience with the stuff, to be honest. Implies I was lying before. Still, the novelty of eating a soup designed to mimic the flesh tones of a horrific monster should be enough to get some fans excited. And instant ramen is not really known for its it is known for its excellence. It's in the taste department. Or maybe I am just spoiled not spoiled at all. Nevertheless, unless you're desperate for some monster noodles, I would definitely buy this even if you're not a fan. Instant noodles is known for its delicious taste. I hope next time when you watch us, you'll have some delicious Godzilla noodles to eat. And now we just made $5 from that ad read.
Because that's how that works, right? Taking someone else's blog and then just tweaking it up a little bit. No.
I mean, those are quality posts.
Them kaiju cuisines that start with a K.
Yeah, it's just fun kaiju
Very
cuisine.
cool.
I mean,
It's
Very cool.
It's the weird
Quality posts.
it's just fun with the Godzilla. It's just like the Godzilla articles, like the Godzilla sighting section. It's like fun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Totally.
I think you read the wrong sponsor. It's supposed to be Raid Shadow Legends.
Oh, fuck. I guess we're not getting that $5 today.
Nope. Dang it! You should have done your research, Alex. Should have done your research.
You absolute buffoon.
Now we'll never get sponsored.
Well, so much for that ad, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, shoot.
Again, quality post on TK.
Well, they all can't be KWC, so something has to take the spot. Toho can sponsor us with a lawsuit. Oh my gosh. Alright, Great Shot. Yes, that's what we want. Great Shot, did you want to announce the thing?
Which thing?
The thing. You know, that thing.
You guys are getting married?
No, not that.
I knew it!
Not today.
Yeah, my girlfriend might.
Congratulations!
My girlfriend might argue it in regards to that, but
Yeah, I know.
yeah. So basically, what I can say is that there will be matches on December 21st and December 31st throughout this year, or sorry, not this year,
October.
throughout this month. Yes. And I would just want to say that you might want to keep an eye out because they might all have a general theme in regards to the characters.
And you just spoiled it.
Shh.
What? Spoiled? No, a spoiler would be posting, let's say, the banner for this, let's say this big significant match that's coming up. That you can see right below, right? Where is it? Oh god, I didn't save it. Oh god.
Well,
Gosh, fucking darn it.
when you say general theme and there's only been enough
back in a minute.
confirmed combatants.
Oh, he left! You scared him off, man.
You know he's basically spoiling it at this point.
Okay.
No, he won't. He's not Birdman.
Yeah, do I look like... Yeah, do I look like Birdman to you?
Yeah.
Dang it. Oh, here we go. Found it. My Discord's currently acting up, so I thought I could relaunch it, but it's not working.
If it is what I'm thinking it is, you could just post it from the KWC staff.
Oh, right. Yes, thank you. I forgot to post it there.
Yep. Not unless I get to...
And
And
I'll just post it in the
kids, this is
KWC
why
channel.
I should be the head of the KWC.
Yeah. So don't try and give too many specific reactions, but, you know, just take a good look at it.
This will be coming out on October 31st, so keep an eye out then.
Keep an eye out then to the people that are only looking at this and that I won't have up in the thingy-majig. Unless something happens, then okay, whatever.
Yeah, see what happens when you guys aren't in the Discord? You don't get special sneak peeks like this.
Yeah, this is the thing we call privileges.
Exclusive.
I can't believe it.
No, Kaiju X, this is what we
versus
call
Bay.
rights.
Yeah, did you realize there are the tiers? You have form tier, no, reader tier, form tier, Discord tier, and Tom.
Exactly. And that's why in the private section it's just me, Kaiju X, and Tom. That's why there's 3 people down there. That's the max amount of people you can get in.
I think we should overthrow Kaiju X and Gracia.
Well, on a note of that, though, in regards to for reasons why, we've also begun a marketing procedure for the KWC a bit. So we have. We've started posting KWCs, at least ours, to other sites in regards to getting just a little bit of foot traffic and whatnot. And by the way, guys, you should check out. Currently, our first one is on Wattpad, and it is.
Who uses that?
Well, apparently some people, because we've been getting a little bit of foot traffic.
Oh, really?
What's a Wattpad?
Bam. So this is basically reposted 211, but the idea is we're going to be posting probably like one or two more, and we have already got some amazing rankings, which I will showcase right below this, and Kaiju X can post it as well.
All right. Wait, I can post it too? Wait, where? I don't think I got
Oh,
it.
you'll see it.
23 views.
Oh, yeah, 23 views. 0 favorites and 0 comments.
23!
Listen.
Wow, that must be like the equivalent to 1 million views on YouTube.
Listen, it's equivalent to about 7 Scrabbles. But for the the best one right now is Shin in regards to that category. We are in the top 10%.
Out of 28 stories.
Top 10%.
Out of 28 stories.
out of over 1,000.
That's for Godzilla, not
Listen,
Shin Godzilla.
listen, we're facing some harsh competition. Like number 1 is Tori the Better Bride. Number 2 is A Godly Love, Zamasu X Reader. And number 3 is like Submit to Me, Lover Boy. So like there's some really hard competition on this site.
Some of you will get this, but like bagging Gracia, you're in need of a reality check.
I get that reference. But yeah. So I wouldn't mind participating in this marketing scheme. Like just posting some matches of my own, probably on other sites, probably my DeviantArt. Now that I think. Then again, I have banners for that, so.
Yeah, the idea is we're going to post this. At least I'm going to keep taking it to fanfiction.net and Wattpad, posting these just to get a little bit of traffic. It's only going to be like
Pornhub.
a few. Probably avoid that one considering that's video.
Great shot. You could restore the original cut of 273 to Pornhub.
No, I think we're good.
Because it's too intimate.
But I think we're good. But in any case, yes, this month is going to be a very special month when it comes to KWC. So if you are interested in reading some awesome matches, keep an eye out. Next match will be October 21st. That banner is also by Kaiju X, by the way.
All right.
And afterward, we have got some special treats, which I think everyone here is quite enjoying.
Yeah, everyone here on the Discord's eating it up like dogs. They're all like meow meow. I mean bark bark. But yeah, we got that. Did you want to announce the other thing, Gray Shot? Let me give you a hint that it starts with one thing, and
Starts with an M and ends with an Nilla.
No, not that one.
Oh yeah, yeah, we can also announce that.
Okay.
So the thing I want to say is, I'm giving permission right now, in line with the 2020 release date. If you wish to write a Kong Legendary match, you can start and submit it to the KWC. However, all matches will not be posted until Godzilla vs. Kong, at the very least, arrives, or we receive more detail about it. Mm-hmm. Because keep in mind, if you write a Kong Legendary match, cool, but there are probably going to be powers and or abilities this Kong is going to have that are not shown in Kong Skull Island.
Right.
So, I would recommend maybe holding off until a trailer, and then if you want, you can write and post it for the KWC. Right. For a possible something we might do with Kong. Nothing confirms, but just saying, if you have the interest upon seeing a Godzilla vs. Kong trailer, and you see Kong and you want to write something in regards to the movie, totally fine for you to submit it.
Right.
Just keep in mind that if you write something that is sloppy or you just want to be the first one, we will reject it per usual. There will be a higher standard placed on these matches because the character technically isn't out yet.
Right. Or at least
all that we know is Skull Island.
Right. The only form of rest we have the Skull Island run one. I would say just to pick that like a 300-foot version of the Skull Island Kong, and we'll be all right for now. So if you want to go that route, that's fine. But it's like for now, the idea is get Kong matches, so when the movie comes out, we got Kong matches to we got Kong matches in there to kind of strike the iron while it's hot. So that's kind of the idea.
And if we decide to get rid of this event, fret not. It won't be entirely wasted. It will be posted to the KWCE. Ooh.
Well, that's not wrong.
So your time won't be entirely wasted.
Yep, it'll find a home somewhere. We'll try and make it KWC. If things don't
like
work...
the trash.
At least we'll have a good version of the character.
Hey.
And he's one with a better suit. I will agree with that.
Right, better like aesthetic design and whatnot, because it's like
monkey.
Because it's like, yeah, even if he doesn't have any like unique powers to himself, I think generally he's just more physically appealing compared to the roadkill suit that is the '60s one.
Yeah, which also reminds me, I will say this: keep in mind, if this Kong does have the exact same powers as the original, as in he can do stuff with lightning or electricity, then I will just say this: that '60s Kong, as loved as he might get an axe sooner rather than later.
I'll be the first one to say
just
that.
keep an eye out if you are writing a King Kong match.
Despite loving the suit in an ironic sense, I'm completely okay with
Why not just do a
potentially replacing the original Kong.
Why not just do a hybrid?
Because two distinct. One's an American, one's a Japanese. They both have very different cosmetic.
Also, what is it? Element X.
Yeah, Element X. That's the other thing too. But yeah, rather not. I don't feel comfortable taking the hybridized route with Kong. To be frank, I'm not comfortable.
Make Kong a hybrid.
Implies you were lying.
Hybrid monkey.
But yeah, when it comes to that, we're probably gonna, only if Legendary Kong displays lightning abilities. That's only in those circumstances. Otherwise, I'd imagine Legendary Kong's gonna be pretty TNC all the way through. I don't see him developing any new powers. But then again, we got Burning Godzilla, so who knows for sure.
Burning Godzilla versus full-on Thor Kong.
Oh man, that will be awesome.
No, just imagine Kong like that scene in Thor Ragnarok where Thor gets all of his lightning powers and he descends onto the Hela's army. Just have fucking Lightning Kong.
God, yes,
going down while Godzilla's burning.
Oh man, that'd be so good. Oh, I could see it.
I have a question.
It's magnificent.
All the while the immigrant song from Led Zeppelin plays.
Yeah. Oh man. So, we are. But that is something. Yeah, you can write matches with Legendary Kong, but just keep in mind that the actual matches themselves will naturally not be posted for a while. Or at least until it's closer to the movie's release date or the day of the movie's release date. So.
I have two questions.
Go ahead.
Go on.
Okay, question. Does this also apply to the KWC?
I'm having trouble.
Oh, you mean animated?
Yeah, the animated?
Yes.
If that one would probably get an exception like Mothra Hesai and King Ghidorah Hesai. You could probably use just because of if there are more models, which I doubt to be quite frank, but
There are.
But what I'm saying is there'll probably be a ton created of the new Kong in regards to the new movie. But for ease of use in regards to animation, that is totally fine.
Oh wait, using
because again
which Kong?
In regards to the old Kong. What he's asking is is Kong going to apply to the same thing like Mothra Hesai and King Ghidorah Hesai in regards to the anime matches? And the answer would probably be yes.
Oh, like, just in case Showa Kong gets retired.
Yeah. Which is totally fine for the animated, because there is a limited amount of, suits and things of that nature.
Okay. Alright, anyway. Alright, let's see. So, yeah, we got...
You're glitching out.
You're glitching out, man. You are glitching out super hard.
Dude, he just died. Jesus.
Biggie Cheese fucking dies.
Barnyard 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Gosh darn. But yeah, can't make you
If
out.
someone could link me that movie, I could probably do something like that.
Oh gosh. But yeah, can't. Yeah, if you're saying something, man, can't hear you. Hop in, hop out. See if that works.
Oh, since we're here, I have a question for Kaiju Chronicles Expanded.
All right, go ahead.
I don't know if they're too small, but would graboids be possible from Tremors?
I mean, like, do they come in swarms or packs or something, or?
Yeah, they hunt in like threes most of the time.
Okay, that's fine. I don't mind. Like, upscale them a little bit, call it good.
Which character?
Graboids.
Graboids
for
from Tremors.
KWCE.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Not KWC Grayshaw. You don't have to worry about that. Graboids? Where?
I just had an idea for them in Skullcrawler.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. That's not a problem by me. So,
oh hell yeah!
Oh, I just thought of a good matchup for that.
What?
Ant-Man and the Wasp versus Graboids.
Ooh, that'd be. I see what you did there.
I'll write that.
So, but anyway, Biggie Cheese. As you were saying.
Can I announce something at least? Can I announce something?
Yeah. If it's the thing, if it's the thing I gave you permission for, I guess so.
The series that's an anime that has no fighters, but it's allowed.
Oh wait! Oh no, not that. I thought you were talking about the animated thing.
Cut the footage! Cut the footage!
Cut the footage!
Oh,
yeah.
Wait, no, not that. But yeah, the animated thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
the Ava 01 stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got dibs, by the way.
The what?
I got dibs to make the first Ava 01 match. Suckers.
Which I think is technically going to be an animated one, if I recall, right?
Yes, animated.
So,
the plan right now is to have Ava 01 fight against either Sin or Legendary Rodan.
Rogue Titan.
But yeah, that's like, I gave him permission to do that because it's very similar to the Kong thing where it's like, let's have, like, because Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.0 is being distributed by Toho, which will allow Evangelions to get into the KWC. I do believe that Ava 01 has a part in 3.0 plus 1.0 going off of the trailers. I believe she is there.
Plus that crossover film, don't forget that.
I'd say that's more of like, support.
Yeah, it's some support.
Yeah, some support. I'd see it more like that. Yeah, the memes. Yeah, that's...
Not a lot of support, but some.
Oh man, yeah, I'll post that meme up right up there. It's fucking perfect. Anyway,
Can we also get AF in chat for Pokemon? AF in chat.
Wait, Pokemon? No, Pokemon's off the table.
He said an F.
Oh, an F? Okay,
Press
yeah. F for Pokemon, because, Pokemon is off that table. So is most...
Goodbye, Giant Torterra.
Right. Most anime in general will be off the table.
Can I also say one more thing?
Oh, yeah. What is it?
As a mix out to everybody listening, there will be no Hero Academias in my pure Toku War Chronicles.
Yeah, pretty much.
Th-
That's another one that's
th-
off the table.
Hey,
This
Biggie
is
Cheese,
a-
when is your Shinji Aaron fan fiction?
My next KWC. Quote me on this.
Also, be careful, man. It might get removed because it's too intimate.
Cringe moment.
Oh, that's.
I just
That
want to
was not
stress.
cash
I
money.
just want to stress that I'm okay with human characters having this, but the moment you do, I will stress that the monsters know. So don't even think about it.
Wow.
But wait.
But they weren't fucking or loving each other. They were just being friends.
How dare he give a hug?
Yeah, how
Two guys sitting
hugs.
5 foot apart in a hot tub.
But then that
Hey,
leads to an.
Hey, hold on. Once me
Are
and
you a
Jim-
Christian mother
hold on.
saying that you can't hug other people?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. If Joe and I beat the shit out of Mothra Leo, who is trying to destroy the city, I think I would give Joe a hug.
With Leo.
And also, here's the thing. Dakota's my son, so I'm damn well giving him a hug.
You better, or I'm calling CPS.
Good man.
Oh shoot! I was gonna say
Now-
that would lead to a fun hypothetical conundrum of like, oh, Ava and Aaron, they can't hug, or Rogue Titan, they can't hug, though they totally could because they're basically intelligence, like sentient things. Granted,
Wait, can Ultraman hug?
I mean, yeah, he's intelligent. Like, he's human level intelligent. Like, he
Also, Godzilla and Anguirus talk, so they could hug.
Hey, Andy.
They have sentient level intelligence.
I think for when it comes to monsters, there's a better way to convey affection or whatnot.
Oh, it
In
depends
other words,
on the
like these
monster.
are animals.
Yeah,
Yeah,
depends on the-
I think Anguirus, for instance, is not a monster that I could ever see giving another monster a hug. But in regards to Anguirus, it's not to say that I can never see him showing compassion
or affection.
In fact, I think Anguirus would be a monster that has a very silent, just pay your respects kind of action, more so than like showing it. I think he would just like do it. It's more of an action and what he does. For instance, like paying respects. For instance, in a situation like him paying respects to like the death of like a 1970s Godzilla or like the Showa Godzilla, like he'd go to the site of where it died and like pay respects, then to like shed
then
tears
eat
or
'em.
whatnot. No, just like shed tears, then shed tears and like or like give it a hug or something. It's just an example. I think that's some monsters much better conveys. I think that was my line in regards to this match.
But that's the thing. It's like we're not. No one's saying like have the kaiju fuck or kiss each other. It again, like I said, the
No,
wings-
but I've
the
never
wing-
seen.
the-
no.
hold on, the
Oh.
wing aspect I can understand, but it's like
Why?
they were just holding each other. What's so wrong about that?
It would be
Hey,
like if
shit.
Legendary Godzilla and
Shin
Mothra
grew
went.
freaking wings. That's what was wrong.
No, what I said the wings I can understand, but them just essentially holding each other. I don't
Because
see a problem with
you
that.
keep bringing up like Mothra Legendary, and I make note of that scene being for the most part well because the reason why Mothra did that was to show support. Like she threw her wings over Godzilla to be like back off, and Ghidorah was like, "Yeah, no, I'm not afraid of you," and charged up his beam. Mothra then knew, well, I need to take the hit for this one because Godzilla can't, and then took the hit. Like there's obviously like they show support for one another.
No, and that's
Yeah.
completely fine. But it's like
But that is a different scene. That's why I even make note in the comments. Like, that is what I would consider like a 7 or 8. This I would consider like an 11. And I was like, no. We all can have different opinions on what that is, but since I am the head of the KWC, I have final say. And from my point of view, I was like a little too far, backed it up a little bit, and it still had the nice, still friendly ending.
I
Sending
still
you
have
to
to
the Shadow Realm.
fundamentally disagree with that.
Okay, you have every right to.
That's when it's going to change.
Everyone's being sent to the Shadow Realm.
And this will be how Civil War starts. over Kaiju interactions.
Yeah.
Justice for Monster Hunter, guys.
Kaiju War Chronicles Committee Civil War.
Over a hug.
Hey, hugs are important.
John Wayne is Captain America and Gray Shot's Iron Man.
Yeah.
Who am I then?
No, I would be Iron Man. Greyshot's Captain America.
Oh yeah, easily.
Bruh.
Kaiju X is Thor.
Yeah.
Him and Ditto are off fighting his sister on a rainbow bridge.
Yeah.
I'll be Ant-Man.
Anyway. Let's see. Do we have anything really to cover? Grayshot, do you have like anything else to maybe say, or something you want to do, or whatever?
In regards to all the announcements, I think that was pretty much all the monster announcements or changes I want for like the upcoming. Oh, one small note is that the survey and the KWC awards will be occurring at the same time this year, and they will be occurring in January. So just a heads up for those that might be like keeping an eye out. Just a heads up. That's why. Other than that, not really. Unless you guys just want to do a KWC battle or something.
Yeah, KWC Battle. I'd be down for that with new Shin Godzilla. Let's see if he gets in, which I somehow doubt, because gosh darn it, KWC Battles never seem to land the way I want them to.
You know what would be terrible for me?
Well, here's what we'll do.
Hold on. You know what would be terrible for me?
If you died.
Well, that too, but for the
terrible?
KWC battle, both 273 and match 88 got in there.
Oh no. Yeah, that would be terrible for you.
Well, here's what I'll do. I'll roll two numbers,
That's
and then
a
I'll roll a
horrible
1 and a 2, and whatever. And if it's a 1, it'll be Begora and Gauss. And if we could do that from now on to incorporate the newer matches.
Okay. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
We do 2 random ones between 1 and 273, and then we do a random number generator with the new matches that we have.
Okay.
Okay, sweet. In that case, then rolling the die, we have match 267.
267? Oh, that's a... Oh, alright. Aight.
Okay, Mothra, Hesai versus Zilla. Okay, next up we have match 115.
115. That one is...
Didn't we do this one before in the KWC battle?
Yes, we did.
Okay, I'll try again then.
Yeah, that,
See if we can get some...
Oh, gosh! Okay, we'll do that. I'll make mention of that after the, thingamajig, so... After the KWC
Okay.
battle. Just remind me.
Next up, we have match, in that case then, let's try this. Match 154.
150... Oh! Uh-oh.
Oh, cringe.
That's gonna be fun.
I'm gonna head out now.
Alright, and what's the last one?
No, you have to
And the last one between the two that we have 2. So we have 273.
Okay, 273? Wait!
We already know which one won.
Wait! 273!
Yeah, because I just mentioned we were to do a random number generator between 1 and 2 to see which one of the new matches we have.
Oh.
Yeah,
Unless, do you not want to do that? We can just
I don't mind. I don't mind, but...
Yeah, I'd say at least do it this time, just to see how it works.
Yeah, see how it goes.
We all like it.
Yeah.
Well, we all know who's going to win this.
Oh boy, here we go.
At least... okay, maybe there is a little bias here. Maybe we don't do this one, actually, Pump Thinker, because, yeah, it's going to be fresh in everyone's minds, and...
I'll say this. 154 is fucking cringe. I don't know why it was posted. 267 was okay. 273 is fucking Kino. There, at the end.
Can we, do you guys not...
How about we replace 273?
Yeah, let me roll another number.
Yeah,
Okay.
273 is a little...
Oh, wait. Hold on, great shot.
Okay, yeah.
I like your idea.
Okay.
But let's do this. But let's do, like, the 2 matches that just came out, like, for this KWCC. Let's save those for next month's. How does that sound?
For
that
the battle?
way for the battle. That way, we'd still be doing more recent matches, but not ones that are posted right away.
Okay, sounds good.
As a compromise.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I think that'd be overall better.
Okay. So yeah, we got 154, and the next one is 158.
Okay, the one that came just a little after. Which one is that? 158. 150. Oh! Well, that is appropriate. This is highly, highly appropriate.
Oh, that one.
Oh, it's this one.
Yeah, and they both 158 and 154 have something in common. That's gonna be fun. All right.
Okay then.
All right. Let the battle begin.
Okay, so we have 158, 154, and 267. So, in regards of banners battling out for supremacy, which one takes the cake?
All right. Okay, so we'll go.
Starting off with Justice for Hesai Mothra.
That's Biggie Cheese.
Yes, Mr. Cheese. What would you say your favorite banner is?
Of the three.
Oh. My buddy left.
Oh, he's no longer here. Well, here, in that case then, Bacon, how about yourself?
All right.
Out of the three banners?
Yes.
Yes.
Gorosaurus versus Varen.
And why?
I like how it just looks. They're in the wake. I like how the water's rising with their tails, and I like that the position they're in. He's like trying to get him into a chokehold. I think it's just well-made banner. Also, I like how they actually look like they're in the environment.
Touche, touche, touche.
Ditto.
Okay, well, we got 2 votes for 158. And for me, I would actually tend to agree. They blend in with the background very nicely. The Xelan ships are very cool in the background, along with the background itself. It's very dynamic in regards to like it's a nice background shot. The water itself, probably some of the best detail we ever had when it comes to water effects in a banner. Jackson Morris does a fantastic job with this one. When it comes to 267, I think this is my second favorite in regards to like Zilla in like the shadows and Mothra coming down in the light. It's a very cool shot. While 154, I do like Gabara. I think it's a little too plain. So yeah, overall, I'd give it to 158.
Yeah,
Kaiju X?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say 158 as well. I do love 267's composition. I do like the way Mothra looks. I like the way Zilla's coming out of the side, but 158 has so much nice blending going on. The way the monsters are interacting with the environment. Varan's like Gorosaurus biting down Varan chokeholding him. Varan's emphasized like gill hands and whatnot, or webbed hands. There we go. Yeah, there's just so much lovely composition going on from Jackson Morris that it's just utterly stunning and really beautiful. So this one was just, 158 has my vote hands down, with 267 coming in a close second. 154, not the best of the bunch. A little plain, so, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. But now that we have a definitive winner when it comes to the banners, let's see who.
Didn't Alex go?
Oh, I said ditto.
Yeah, he said ditto with Bacon.
Okay, he just agreed. All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
I will say for 267, I don't really care for how Mothra looks.
Oh.
It looks kind of uncanny. Like, you could tell that's from a video game.
Well, I mean, you know where the image comes from, of course, but I
know, but it just doesn't really seem to fit with the rest of the banner.
I think it does, but that's just me. But anyway. Alright, so now on. So, man, that was a complete wipeout victory for 158 right there. Holy moly. No contest there. Alright. Next.
Well, that's expected when you go up against an match and a Zilla match.
Well, that's for banners, though. Like, banner-wise.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, let us now choose based on the quality of the writing. So, we have...
Same thing.
Okay, so Bacon, who would you say comes out on top in this regard?
That one's a tad hard because I really like both 267. But if I'm gonna have to choose one, I'm gonna have to go with 267. I like the brutality in it near the end, how Mothra kills Zilla. Let's see. I liked how at the end after winning, she's going to get even more trouble because Mechagodzilla and Jericho showed up, basically setting up another match where she's going to get brutally murdered. Overall, I just thought it was a pretty interesting match. I like how Zilla went into like her cavern and then got scared that he was fighting a god. Like he was genuinely afraid.
Touche.
All right, that's interesting.
Well, in regards for me, I would say that probably my weakest of the matches, actually, I would argue is 267.
Really?
I think that's the weakest in regards to its writing because, yeah, I think the use of the egg and Zilla being more animalistic is it was used well, but I thought the ending was kind of a little cliche when it's like, and I'll defend to the end in regards to Mothra. It's like, okay, we've kind of seen this before. It to me, I thought it was good. I just don't think it was. For me, it was like a standout. 154 and 158, on the other hand, are I think two different stories. Both have a bit of humor, and both have 158. I think is a little bit more dark, but 154, they all have a little bit of humor to them. With Monster X fighting Gabara and then Gorosaurus fighting Varan, both sequels to Monster X versus Gorosaurus. I think overall Josh does a good job when it comes to Monster X vs. Gabara. It could have been just a repeat of the last one. And while I think the way he ends the match is a little bit especially since he's a space monster and he doesn't need oxygen, I would say that it doesn't repeat itself, but it also doesn't do nearly as much new, which is why I have to get the very end, give it to 158, because it takes the premise of the previous match, it brings it in, and it comes up with a new scenario, new type of situation, but still keeps the heart of what that series had better than I would say 154 did. So in the end, I'm going to have to give 158 the vote when it comes to the best match overall.
Yeah, if it's alright, if I can cut in real quick and say I'm going to have to agree, 158 I think it's a fantastic successor to, like, when you go off the idea of what 64 did, and saying, okay, take the stronger monster, and now Gorosaurus is now under the Exiliad's control, but he gets beaten by Varan. That's hilarious. That's a great follow-up to what 64 had established. So 158 I think is a fantastic successor to 64, whereas 154 is rather lackluster. I am not too huge on 154, but it's also been a while since I've read it, but I know I wasn't too huge on it.
Kaiju X, see what happens when you actually write a match that doesn't disrespect a combatant and just makes it solely be a punching bag.
Yeah, I know, right?
See what happens when you try to actually tell a story.
Mm-hmm. Or do unique stuff with it, rather than being the...
And don't let your devices get in the way.
Yeah, exactly. So, I think... So yeah, Zilla versus Mothra I think is a fine fight, but that's just kind of what it is. It's fine. I think 158 definitely takes advantage of the premise, and being a sequel, it takes advantage of its premise and does a unique spin on it. So yeah, my vote goes to 158. Alex, which one are you going to go with?
Ditto.
Okay, 158. So, alright, one for 267.
Another lance. Oh, never mind. It wasn't a landslide.
Well, it's still a land. Well,
not yet.
Right, we had one for 267, but the other three go to 158. So 158 still holding up so far, so good.
But now we come to the final round. In regards to a tag team battle, who will win in the end? Gorosaurus and Varan versus Zilla and Mothra fighting Monster X and Gabara. Who comes out on top?
Are we talking they're canonically or what they are in the matches?
No. So for this part of the battle, we take tag teams. So we say in a massive brawl with Gorosaurus and Varan on a team fighting Zilla and Mothra Hesai on a team fighting Monster X and Gabara on a team, who would be the team that comes out ahead?
Oh, I know what you're saying. I'm saying that could I keep the feat of Gorosaurus beating Monster X into this?
Right. Do we follow the canons of the matches that they like?
I would just put in general.
Okay. So,
Like, you don't need to follow the canon. You could just say, like, yeah, so I guess you could play it into as a factor, but if you want.
This one's hard.
That's what
This
she
one is
said.
a bit hard.
Did it? Shh. Well, because like Monster X is the strongest Godzilla villain, like canonically.
No.
I would disagree with that.
Not the strongest, but he could compete.
Especially when you've got characters like Space Godzilla, Monsterverse, Ghidorah.
Right. They're plenty stronger than
Yeah.
Monster X. Monster X can compete with Godzilla. He's not stronger than Godzilla.
Okay. Well, then I'm gonna have to go with Zilla and Mothra. Like, Zilla in the cartoon showed he could hold his own. And this version of Mothra, from what I remember, pretty strong. Plus, I mean, she's a literal god.
Who dies every time.
Yeah, that is true.
Except for the Heisei version, ironically, who doesn't die.
Who knows? You just have to be stiff to survive.
Oh, that's funny.
Don't move. If you move, they'll see you.
Well, for me, this one's a little bit tricky because honestly, the firepower for all these monsters are relatively in the same sphere. You do make the note that Monster X was defeated by Gorosaurus, and I will say, if we are going to take that into consideration, this Monster X, that battle was like Trick was the last thing Gorosaurus could do. It was like the last move, if I recall that match correctly, and Gorosaurus barely came out on top with a lucky critical strike. So, going on what probably 9 times out of 10 that match would have been, Gorosaurus would have been pummeled into oblivion. And I kind of would tend to agree with most of these melee-ish monsters. Gorosaurus and Baron are very tough, don't get me wrong. And Zilla can definitely, with all the experience that he has, and even if we're going to give him the heat beam, which he didn't have, because this is just a random Zilla, even if I gave him the heat beam, I don't think any of these monsters can actually stack up to Monster X or have an ability to take him out. The only one that I can actually think that can take him out is Mothra Hesai with the sealing ability, but that's going to require him not to move, and I don't think Zilla is going to be able to stall him or hold him back long enough. Considering that, yes, while he's a good tooth and claw fighter, he doesn't have anything that can really break through Monster X's hide. Considering that he was able to withstand Godzilla's atomic beams pretty nonchalantly. So that also leaves Gabara, who is pretty much the under tier, definitely the lower tier, and I don't think he's going to last too long. I think he can throw little punches, but against all these vicious attackers, I don't think he's going to last long. So it's going to basically be Monster X fighting Mothra, maybe with Gorosaurus Avarian hanging around, but I think they're going to be eliminated eventually. So it's going to be Mothra Hesai versus Monster X, and with those two in the battle, I kind of have to go with Monster X. Because Mothra is just going to get worn down. That's the one thing I will say with Monster X. He can't really do that much on the attack, but his armor is strong enough that he can just endure so much punishment. And none of these monsters have the ability to knock him out. They could probably throw him around a bit. They could probably beat him up. But I don't think they have anything that can put him down permanently. And I think that's what gives Monster X and his team the advantage. So I'm going 154 with this one.
Okay, I guess I'll give my thoughts.
Alright, go ahead.
Okay, let's see. Zilla just sucks, so he fucking dies instantly. Mothra,
Damn.
in the rules of the Godzilla universe, Mothra has to die every time, so she's dead, so that wipes out 267. Varen's too much of a dumbass and too frail. Gabara Monster X could just give him a dish of explosives, and you would think it would be popcorn, so he dies. Gabara lost to a little kid, so Gorosaurus would just maul him. And then Gorosaurus beat Monster X previously, so Gorosaurus wins.
Damn,
You know what?
checkmate.
I really love that reasoning of deduction. Another critical strike and Gorosaurus wins.
Yeah, again,
It's
because
like playing Hero in
everyone,
Smash.
for some reason, everyone has the mindset that Varen is somehow impressive and is intelligent. When, if we're going by his original film,
Oh gosh, he's
he's very frail.
yeah.
I mean, the villagers probably didn't even think he was that impressive because compared to Kong, they just put a white picket fence instead of a fucking border wall.
Right.
So that just also means that 1933 Kong, who died from airplanes, is more impressive than Varen. Watch Varen's movie, kids. You know I'm right.
As a person who's seen Varan's movie multiple times throughout my lifetime, I'd have to comply.
The only time that Varen's actually strong is Godzilla Unleashed.
But no one plays as him.
I do.
Shut up.
I've never played the game, so I can't add anything.
Well, remember, if you even say a slight positive about the game, you'll be criticized by the whole Godzilla community.
The roster's cool.
Well, then you suck. All right, Kaiju X, what are your thoughts?
Right. I honestly, like, partly because I don't want.
Implies you were lying.
I should do something about that. Whether it's me or you, I don't know, but
It's you.
I'm gonna go 158 for a very similar, maybe not like perfectly the same line of reasoning as yours, but Mothra is a good determining factor. But I would like to think, at least in the realm of like 2 canon matches to 64, I would like to think that Gorosaurus and Varan have the upper hand. Mothra could pull in a win. Granted, by the rule of Godzilla, she probably won't. But if she could get the win, like 1 out of 10 chances, she could get the win. Otherwise, I expect Monster X to probably dispatch her first. But by principle of 154 and 158 being part of stemming from the same match, I'm just gonna give it to 158 because I don't want to think too hard right now.
Just because Gorosaurus is the only competent combatant here. If we're going by this continuity.
Right.
Which we are.
Well, no, Varan won 158, though, because that was part of the whole thing.
Oh, that's right.
So, like, Varan's more competent in my mindset than in yours. Well, to be fair, where credit's due, your version was at least following more of the films, so.
Well, it's true, though.
Yeah, I know it's true.
Heck, the Exilians just realized that they could just trick Varen into eating the bombs and kill him again.
So I think this probably leads to. I think there's an overall win for 158. I think.
I believe so.
Yeah, because there was 1 for 154, 1 for 167, 1 for 158, and 158 won the other 2. So there we go.
So, what would you? So with that, I think we have our. Even with that, I think the winner still goes to 158.
Yes. Just all around. So sorry you have to stick around for another round of another round of the KWC Battle, whatever the heck it's called. I can't even remember.
Yeah, good man.
All right, but anyway, I feel like
I guess we'll just call it there for the podcast.
I feel like we're forgetting something, though.
Are we?
Doesn't it feel like that? I don't know. It just feels like we're forgetting to say something. And I'm not even meaning.
Right, something.
I doubt we're forgetting something. It just feels like it.
I don't think so. At least there's nothing.
Yeah, we went over the 2 matches. We did the battle.
Was there a KWCE?
No, that's
Oh, okay, thank God.
that's what I was gonna say.
Oh, the read started. That's the thing.
Oh yes, that's what it was. That's what it was. That's right. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Thank you for the reminder, Alex. Golly. If for people who have noticed, the YouTube channel started back up with the committee reads, starting where we left off almost 2 years ago with Match 101. So give that a listen if you haven't already, and the KWCEs will become. The committee reads will be coming out every Friday.
Friday.
Yes, Friday.
Friday.
Yes.
Friday.
Yes.
Friday.
So yeah. In the meantime, you guys can get your fill of committee reads action. And yeah, I think that was probably the only real big thing. As far as there is going to be a KWCE this month. It'll be out sometime after the podcast. But yeah, like there will be a KWCE coming out this month, and we can kind of just go from there. So.
Is there one in December too?
Yes, or there are some plans. Like there might be a slight change of plans, but if there's nothing that comes out, like after the, there might be 2 in October. But if there are 2 in October, I'll admit that the December one just ended there, because I just want to hit to match 50. KWCE match 50. I just want to hit it there. That's all that counts for me. But yeah, the original plan is October and December for KWCE. Otherwise, or it could be 2 KWCEs. I don't know. It depends on how I want to go about that. Okay, yeah. With that said, yeah, now I think we have our bases covered. Speaking of...
Okay, cool.
So, with that said, I think we can officially end the podcast for the day and call it good.
Awesome.
So, all right. Thank you very much, everyone, for participating in this month's KWCC. I can't tell the difference between that and the committee reads anymore, and we'll see you guys next time for next month's KWCC, where I'm more than sure we'll have some delicious meat to sink our fangs into.
And thank you, River Pond, for sponsoring this podcast. We are so thankful for your Godzilla ramen. Even though it tastes like tastes amazing.
Don't you mean tastes like Shin? Hey!
Never do that.
Fuck you.
Alright, so see you guys later.
Later.
So, but before we get into this like month slew of KWCs, Joe, you want to make an announcement. What is it, my dude?
Oh yeah. Okay, I've come to make an announcement. Grayshot151 is a bitch-ass motherfucker.
Oh, for God's sake, not one of these references.
He pissed on my fucking wife. That's right. He took his tasteful fucking Applebee's dick out and pissed on my fucking wife. And he said his dick was this big. And I said that's disgusting. So I'm making a call-out post on my Toho Kingdom.
How much did Alec pay you? How much did Alec?
151, you've got a small dick. It's the size of this walnut, except way smaller. And guess what? Here's what my dog looks like. That's right, baby. Tall points, no Applebee's, no pillows. Look at that. It looks like 2 balls and a bong. He fucked my wife, so guess what? I'm gonna fuck the KWC.
You know what the best part
That's
is?
right.
I can hear him smiling as he reads this.
Yes!
That's right. This is what you get. My super laser piss. Except I'm not gonna piss on the KWC. I'm gonna go higher. I'm pissing on TK. How do you like that, Anthony? I pissed on the site, you idiot. You have 23 hours before the piss drops.
Oh no, he's been booted.
Wait, what the heck happened?
Oh no.
Grayshot decided to be a cuck.
Dude, he got Hakkai'd!
Yeah.
Oh man, dude, you just got warped into another dimension.
See, Joe, I think Grayshot cucked you.
Wow.
You're welcome.
Was it because I called Anthony an idiot?
You crossed the line.
Jokingly.
The spirit of Anthony came in and just erased you.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Oh fuck.
I get the reference though. Oh my gosh, friggin'
I fucking love that channel.
that friggin' Snapcube channel. Oh my gosh, that friggin' Dr. Eggman. Holy frick. Oh my gosh. Okay, I wasn't expecting that, but. All right, let's get this sucker up and proper.
God, you guys just want to put the Pokemon in concentration camps, lead them into the showers.
No, Rayquaza!
Not my Mewtwo.
My baby boy!
God, it's like someone could literally take pictures of the both of you, draw a Hitler, because that's what you're literally doing. You're leading them to the gas chamber. And one of them's gonna grow up to be an angry Russian asshole professor and teach during the 80s and be a total dickhead to my dad and his entire class for a fucking history class.
Okay. Can